hope while in recovery is hard. It's hard. It's a struggle.
From hopelessness to being hopeful. It's a difference between night and day.
I'm not going to let my past dictate my future. I refuse to. Maida House has helped me do that, and they're still helping me today. I was homeless throughout my whole addiction because I lived on the streets. I totally abandoned my kids.
It was a very rough haul through the whole journey of my mother being on drugs.
I think I never dealt with a lot of things that I suffered as a child. Sexually molested, and I tried to commit suicide. And I think I just numbed myself for years.
I can remember sitting in a window a lot of times just crying, saying, asking God to bring my mother home. I never gave up on my mother, though. I prayed for her every night.
And they just couldn't understand why I wasn't willing to be at home and be a mother to them. And I didn't know why.
It's really rough when you're hanging out with your friends and you're driving down the street, you haven't seen your mother and you don't know when, and then you just see her standing on the corner. Like, oh, that's my mother, just standing there and she's looking a mess, and you don't even want to tell nobody that's your mother.
I was hurt. I knew my kids were hurt. I was just really hurt and tired. I was broke down.
My mom was very abusive. She would whip my brothers until blood, and that terrorized me and traumatized me so bad it prevented me from having a normal childhood. I started using cocaine. At the beginning, I wasn't addicted. It wasn't a big thing. But as I continued to use it, it became a cover-up, and I didn't give myself a chance to feel anything because I stayed high. I was homeless, and that's when my kids went into the system.
I just got to be a 4-point student. I was a 0.0 student. I didn't want to forgive her because all the stuff she's done to us.
It made me feel worthless. It caused me to feel hopeless.
I was growing up around alcoholics. My entire family was alcoholics. I lived a living hell as a child into a marriage that lasted too long. My mother had passed away. A year and a half later, my father passed away. My husband at the time went to jail, and I was left to fend on my own, being a full-blown alcoholic with 3 kids, and I could not cope. I had nowhere to go, but the hopelessness of not having family, friends, anywhere to turn to led me to still use. I stayed on the streets for 4 to 6 months, going from drug house to drug house, or sleeping outside, or wherever I could lay my head, or wherever I passed out. It was just an awful situation that kept spinning out of control. I missed a visit with my kids, and at the time my son was 7 years old, and he threatened to hang himself because I wasn't in his life. My child was not going to die over my addiction. And that's when I contacted Maida House.
I never thought that I would be living in my own house, paying my bills and being responsible and loving my kids and cooking meals, and until I came to Maida House.
I told my mother, I believe you should have found Maida House, and they should have found you a long time ago.
If it wasn't for the staff of Maida House, we wouldn't have made it. They are loving, they're caring, they teach you how to survive.
They helped me to release things that I was just holding on to that were keeping me sick.
I was taught to communicate.
They gave me parenting classes, anger management classes, the transitional living, housing.
I am so thankful for Made House. They did wonders for my mother. They changed her whole life around in our lives.
I'm grateful that God gave me a second chance to be a better parent.
All of my kids are amazing now because they know they're safe. They know a place to go. They know they have a mom there that's clean and sober.
I said, God answered my prayer. And I am so proud of my mother. And I love her. I never stopped loving her.
It gives women hope. It gives children hope.
I got my kids back. I got my life back. I have a lot of gratitude for Made House.
It makes me feel like I can do anything. Anything I put my mind to, I can do it, and I know I can.
The people that fund Made House have no clue what they're giving women and children back. They're giving a whole new start in the world.
I'm trying to get my grades up for school so I can be a pediatrician.
It's like a dream come true, something that I've been wanting all my life, and it's just finally happened.
If you have the desire and you got Made House, you can't go wrong.
Good for you.
They've shown me what recovery is all about.
It can be done. You can have some hope. I got it back.